What's going on, everyone? Thanks for being here. So today's video is going to be a little bit different, and I will try my absolute best to keep things positive and to not make this video too sad. So here's a little backstory. Last week, I spent 5 days in Washington State visiting family that I haven't seen in close to 8 years. I saw my aunts and uncles and cousins, and it was a really fulfilling trip on many levels. And let me explain exactly what I mean. So I'm getting older, right? We all are. So that means that my relatives are also getting older. Most of my aunts and uncles are in their 70s or 80s, and thank goodness most everyone is still fairly healthy and getting around just fine. However, as we all know, that won't always be the case. And although this might sound a little bit morbid, it was really important to me to go see my relatives before it was too late. And I've been trying to book a trip to Washington to kind of make the rounds, right, to see everyone for the last few months now, but because of my kind of weird schedule, I've been putting it off. So I'm going to talk more about my trip in just a second, but I want to take a minute to let you know about today's video sponsor, BetterHelp. I've talked about them a bunch because BetterHelp's mission is to make professional counseling accessible, affordable, and convenient so anybody who's struggling with life's many ups and downs can get help anywhere at any time. And without exception, all of the counselors on the BetterHelp platform are licensed, trained, experienced, and accredited psychologists, marriage and family therapists, clinical social workers, and board-licensed professional counselors. Here's the thing though, BetterHelp isn't a crisis line and it isn't self-help. This is professional therapy done securely online. BetterHelp assesses all of your specific needs and then matches you with your own licensed professional therapist, and you can start communicating within 48 hours. You can log in anytime and message your therapist, and you can also schedule weekly phone or video sessions, all from the comfort and security of your own home. BetterHelp also knows that finding a quality therapeutic match is critical, so they make it very easy and free to change therapists if that's what you need. So look, if you're ready to join the over 1 million people that are already taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional, just click that first link down in the video description to betterhelp.com/fashion. That's betterhelp.com/fashion, and you'll get 10% off your first month. Thank you, BetterHelp, for supporting my channel and sponsoring today's video. Okay, back to my trip. So I was trying to go initially in April, and then that didn't happen, and then May didn't happen because I went to Philadelphia. So I was trying to go again in June, but it kind of started looking more like July. But then I got word that my uncle was having an 80th birthday party on June 24th, and that was my sign. I needed to get it on my calendar and book a ticket. Otherwise, I would just keep putting it off. Because if you think about it, if I buy the plane tickets, I will figure out a way to make it happen. If I don't, I'll keep finding excuses to put it off. But here's the thing that kept bothering me, because I'd been thinking about going for months, but I hadn't yet booked anything. So if something happened to one of my relatives before I was able to get up there, I would have been wrecked because I just kept putting off the trip. Okay, so long story short, I ended up going and I spent the first few days with my mom and her side of the family. Then I drove over to Eastern Washington on that Friday for my uncle's birthday party, and then to see more of my family from my dad's side before driving back to Seattle and flying home on that Sunday. It was a pretty quick trip, like 5 days, but it was very gratifying. But more importantly, I made sure everyone knew that I was happy to see them and that I loved them. Because if anything happened to them, or even me for that matter, I needed everyone to know that they're all very important to me. And this brings me to the subject of your relationships and how extremely fragile they are. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older and I'm sort of facing my own mortality, but I think it's good practice from time to time to let the people closest to you know that they matter. And maybe I'm just in a weird mood right now, but let me ask you this. How are you living your life? Are you living it with compassion, or are you living it with anger and resentment? Are you always complaining about stuff, or do you try to see the bright side? If you get upset about something, do you maybe approach the customer service person demanding that the wrong be made right immediately? Or do you approach with kindness and understanding that the person that you're screaming to had nothing to do with your actual situation? I can tell you from personal experience, being the customer service person on the other end of the phone myself, kindness goes a lot farther and gets you a lot more than anger and insults. So try this for me. So for the next week or so, try to count the number of times that you complain about something or gossip to your friends about somebody else or insult a stranger for no reason. Maybe somebody didn't hold the door open for you when you thought they should. Maybe somebody cut you off in traffic. Try to let it go. Because if you stay pissed off about it and let that 20-second encounter ruin the rest of your day, you let it ruin the rest of your day, not the other person. And I know this video is kind of all over the place, but the older I get, the more I recognize that I simply don't have time, patience, or room in my life for useless negativity. And it's what I always say at the end of every single video: live well. Live as well as you can, because if you haven't figured it out by now, it's a complete waste of your time giving your energy to someone who doesn't even deserve it. And again, maybe I'm just in a weird headspace today because seeing my family affected me in a really positive way, and it made me very happy. And I want the same thing for all of you. So if you're lucky enough to still have your parents or relatives or even siblings, how about you send them a quick text to let them know you're thinking about them? Or better yet, pick up the phone and do it in person. It'll not only make their day a lot better, but it will make yours better also. And one more thing, because I know this video is kind of scattered and all over the place and not like my normal style content, but if you made it this far, please hit the like button because I appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, my friends, thank you so much for watching. Live well, and I'll see you with the next one.